Yeah, Kash Patel just got confirmed. To me, dude, everybody that's freaking out over Kash getting confirmed, it's a great sign that accountability is going to come.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Kash said, I'm releasing the Epstein list the first day. Okay, well, that's today or tomorrow, the day that the show airs. So we'll see. But dude, I still have yet to see or hear of any accountability whatsoever.
Like what we're doing with these people.
Yeah, and that is a big problem for me personally. If the Trump administration doesn't arrest some of these people and put some of these people in prison who have done these things, to me, they're just part of the machine, just another part. So I appreciate what's happening, and I'm not being critical, but there's parts to this that need to happen too.
Yeah.
And the American people deserve a reconciliation for the crimes that have been committed against them. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to reality. Guys, today we have Andy and DJ
Cruise the internet.
That's what we're going to do. That's what CTI stands for. It stands for Cruise the Internet. This is the part of the week where we put topics on the screen. We make speculations and observations about what we think is going on. And then we talk about how we got to solve these problems going on in the world. I'm just going to get right into it today. Don't forget to pay the fee. We don't run ads. I don't try to sell you a bunch of shit. And I ask very simply that if you consume the show, you help us grow the show. So do us a favor and don't be a hoe.
Shut the show.
All right.
Hello.
What's up?
Buenos dias. There's a dark energy going on.
Huh?
What's happening?
What do you mean?
Like, it just seems darker over there.
Over here?
Yeah. Used to the...
What?
You're typically like wearing lighter stuff, you know?
Anyway, what's up, Becky?
What's going on, Andy?
Yeah. So that was the worst joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what would you like to talk about today? Since we have someone that should be wearing a fucking helmet over there.
We got a lot of good stuff going on.
That's right.
Lots of stuff to talk about here. But first, I actually have a question for you that I've been meaning to ask you for some time.
Look at that picture. That is fucking pimping, dude.
Hey, thank you.
Is that from the night of the banquet?
Yeah, it's from Banquet.
Bro.
Dude, that cigar lounge is awesome.
Do you
Have
like
you been in
cigars?
there? I do.
Yeah.
I do.
No shit. We're going to have to burn a couple.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's badass pick.
Thank you.
All right. What's the question?
Okay, so I was curious. Why ducks? I've been meaning to ask you about your ducks for a while because, like, I have chickens and I love having chickens, and I feel like chickens are way more common. But like, why ducks?
Dude, listen. Emily showed up with some ducks. You were there. You were there, and then it was ducks.
Yeah.
It was there was no discussion.
It was hard to say no to.
Yeah, and then once you saw them and they were like this big and like that was after I saw them for a minute, I was like, okay, ducks are cool.
Dude, your coop is incredible.
Yeah.
I was looking at it, I screenshotted it because it's like, that's the kind of coop that I want to build for my chickens.
Yeah.
And eventually I want tons of chickens.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
How many do you guys have?
I only have 6 chickens,
Yeah.
Which is honestly...
Do they lay an egg every day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the winter, it slows down. I get like 2 or 3 a day. Over
Yeah.
the summer, I'll get 6 a day easily.
Yeah.
Well, shit, that's like $1,000.
Shit, that's a real business right now.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
might start selling.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah. But no, you know, the ducks are cool, man. A lot of people make fun of me because of the ducks. They don't understand. Like, they have little personalities. Like, do your chickens have personalities?
Oh, yeah, every single one of
Yeah,
them.
that's how the ducks are too. So like once you get to know them, it's just like having a dog or a cat. You know, I got this one Dolly, who I think she thinks I'm her dad because she always like comes and see, like when I go in there, dude, she runs over right away and like wants me to pick her up, and you know it's cute. I like spending time with them. They dude, I go up there almost every day and smoke a cigar, just like watch them.
Yeah.
Like it's like peaceful. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do-
you got
do
little
they lay
teenage
eggs for
boys
you?
for sure.
Yeah, they all. We got 3 females and 2 males, and all the females put out 1 egg every day.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never tried a duck egg before.
yeah.
You got
I haven't either. I won't eat them because I'm like it. I don't know. It's like,
Well, mindfuck.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Like because they're like our pets. But then I've heard I don't know. Some people like duck eggs. Usually those people seem to be Asian.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying it's the truth.
Wait, is that a problem or something? What's
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You go to Chinese, they got Peking duck,
Yeah.
and that's the kind of ducks we got. So I got to be careful, you know. I got to watch out. So anyway,
Dude, the dude ducks are fucking horn dogs.
yeah, they do. They have sex a lot. Yeah, they don't have sex, bro. They just rape.
Bro, it's bad.
Yeah,
It's bad. Like
Yeah.
they're
yep. Sam and Duck Norris and Sam. Duck Norris is the boss, bro. Like he runs around
Is that the
telling
black
everybody
one?
what to do.
the brown one.
Yeah,
That's the brown one, right?
yeah, with the green head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mallard.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a mallard. It's a different kind of duck. It's not a mallard. It's basically it looks like a mallard, but it doesn't fly. So he can only fly like
Just a little
10
bit.
feet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Anyway,
Ducks are cool, man.
so you got any more bad jokes?
Oh, I got
Gonna get those out of the way.
Gird your loins. I got a bunch for
All
you.
right.
But yeah, man, let's get into some cruising. Becky, glad to have you in.
Thank you.
I guess the first things first, Andy, you made a prediction the other day. And like normal, it came true.
Yeah, like the next day.
Yeah. You got Canada facing off United States in the Four Nations finale.
Oh, that wasn't the only prediction I made. I also said that we needed to be getting some money back for all
yeah.
this shit.
That's,
You got that too?
I got those predictions
Okay.
a little bit later, but yeah.
All right, here we go. Like, dude, you know, here's the thing about this rematch. That's tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time this airs, it'll be over.
Yeah. Who you betting on?
I mean, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Fucking Team USA.
Yeah. I was looking into, I mean, Canada's like, they've won like, I think 12 out of the last, like,
That's because Canadians are good at hockey, bro.
yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're good. I think I heard somewhere that they use like maple syrup on their skates to like help with
Right.
the friction stopping and stuff.
So who do you think's going to win?
I mean, gotta go USA. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about hockey, but I did enjoy the highlights from that the game the other day,
Yeah.
where they were just beating the crap out
Yes,
of them right out of the gate.
It was awesome.
We love that.
You know, I would probably expect some of the same of that tonight.
Mhm.
You know, this is exhibition games, bro. These guys are beating the shit out of each other. I mean, there's some geopolitical tensions happening, and you know, a lot of people from the U.S. talked a lot of shit. I'm gonna refrain. I refrain my
Be
shit
careful.
talking until we've actually won. I've learned that lesson many of times.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see what happens.
Well, Trump hasn't learned his lesson.
Well,
He went on to shit talking today.
Did he talk some shit?
He did. Well, first he called Team USA, gave him like a prep talk, and then went to Truth Social. He decided to put this out. This was at 7:21 this morning. He said, quote, "I'll be calling our great American hockey team this morning to spur them on towards victory tonight against Canada, which with far lower taxes and much stronger security will someday, maybe soon, become our cherished and very important 51st state. I will be speaking before the governors tonight in D.C. and will sadly, therefore, be unable to attend. But we will all be watching, and if Governor Trudeau would like to join us, he would be most welcome. Good luck to everybody, and have a great game tonight. So exciting. President Donald J. Trump." You can't help it. You can't help it.
How do you get mad at him at this point? Like, how could you even be mad?
Yeah,
Like, it's just funny.
it is funny. It is funny. Well, I mean, we'll see if we see a little bit more of action, man. It'll be interesting to
I
watch.
think we're going to see an intense hockey game.
Well, Canada's got something to prove now.
Yeah, and they're good. These guys are not slackers, bro. They invented the game of hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, these dudes grow up playing hockey before they walk, they're on skates.
Mm-hmm.
So, just important to keep that in mind.
well, we'll see, man. But guys, let us know down in the comments who you guys got.
We
on
have a
the,
way of winning when things need to be won. So,
backs against the wall.
I mean, it's the USA, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, question. Do you think he's actually trying to acquire Canada? Or do you think he's just trolling? Because I cannot tell.
I think that the reasons that he says for Canada becoming the 51st state make very good sense to everybody involved, including them. They don't have a real government. They've got a tyranny situation going on up there. The citizens are such good people. They're nice people. They're passive people, you know, and they get taken advantage of and abused in a way that's even worse than what I think it's like silent. I don't know what I want to call it. Like, it's almost like quiet tyranny or silent tyranny, you know, like we're born into it. We don't realize that it's as oppressive as it is because we're told that's just the way it is. And so we all accept it. And I think Canada accepts more of it than we do.
But they don't have as many as guns either.
Well, I mean, bro, they made legislation the last couple of years to remove a lot of the guns and do all these things. And I just think that when dealing with Canada, we're dealing with people who are good people, who are passive people. And real talk, their government uses the fuck out of them. And they don't protect them, even though nothing's ever happened there. I just think it's a dysfunctional government. I think it would make more sense for us to all be one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if he's trolling or not, but the reasons of why he says we want Canada and Greenland make a lot of sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think especially it's like the strategic, like
absolutely,
geography of just everything, right? Like these tensions we have with our common enemies. People like to call out China, right? I mean, China uses Canada like no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like there's definitely an argument militarily to getting Canada for sure.
There's also, I mean, dude, look, Canadian people are proud people too. They're proud of being Canadians. So like this is going to be, if that were to be a real thing, I don't know how it could actually be a real thing. Like that's what I think, you know, so we'll see what happens. What do you think? You just can't tell?
I think he's trolling. I think he's just having fun. I think it'd be cool. I don't see it actually ever happening though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either.
We would have to divide it into more than one state though, for sure. It's too much territory.
Yeah.
It's true. This is true, yeah. Well, we'll see, man. Good old Canada. I guess we'll know tomorrow what the outcome of that was. Let us know down in the comments, guys. With that being said, it is Cruise the Internet. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. There's a lot of heavy, hot stuff going on today. So full girth episode coming to you. Let's go ahead and get started with headline number one. Remember, if you want to see any of these pictures, articles, links, videos, go to andyfrisella.com. We link all of those things there for you.
What?
Oh,
I was going to say Kash Patel just got confirmed right now.
yeah, I got it.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know if you were on it today or not.
Oh, bro, listen.
Your jokes are not.
My jokes may not be on it, but I am on it. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, headline number one. Let's get into it. Before we even get to that, man, it's like it's this funny like life and death thing that happens, right? Like when there's new life that comes in, there's somebody going out. Mitch McConnell, he's out. He just announced that he won't run for re-election. He did that on the Senate floor today. He's 83 years old, and he's had some health issues. But check this clip out. He just announced he's not going to be running for re-election. Today's his birthday, actually. Thought that was interesting.
I've never liked calling too much attention to today's date, February 20th. But I figured my birthday would be as good a day as any to share with our colleagues a decision I made last year. During my time in the Senate, I've only really answered to two constituencies, the Republican Conference and the people of Kentucky.
Yeah, and he's out. They asked him for some follow-up questions. This is what we got.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all wouldn't need a minute.
That was today?
No.
Oh, that was when he froze up a while ago. Yeah.
I'd imagine it'd be about the same, though. I mean, like...
Bro, he's having little mini strokes. I mean, look, this is fucking absurd, okay? We don't need these people. These people should not be allowed to serve. You wouldn't allow that guy to babysit your kids. You wouldn't allow him to, make decisions. I wouldn't allow him to make decisions for our company. Mm-hmm. Like, this guy is the main guy. And we're allowing all of these, elderly people that we wouldn't even treat like if he was at our house on Christmas and he was over there talking, we'd all be over in the corner being like, yeah, that's just grandpa.
You can fucking
talking
put
some
a blanket
crazy
on him
shit
or something, keep him warm.
Yeah, but these are the people that we have making decisions for the betterment of our country. I think his existence in Congress proves the motivation of these people who have been serving us. It's not about service. It's about what they can take. And the fact that this guy and all these people go there and make a lifelong career of being quote unquote politicians for the people is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, he should have been out years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I mean, what do you think about all these old people representing us? Because there's two arguments, right? People will say, "Oh, well, these people have the most experience, in the civilizations of history. They're the elders."
Right. No, I don't think it's so much about age as it is about your cognitive ability to function. Yeah. How are you thinking? How are you speaking? Are you sharp or are you on the decline? Because you could have a 60-year-old who's looking like that, but you could also have someone like President Trump. He's getting up there and he's doing great. He's sharp. So I don't really think it's so much about age. And I think if we stuck an age limit on some of these people, that could get us into a sticky situation. I'd be more interested in term limits.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But he should have been out years ago. He did vote yes on Kash, though. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah. Well, I think he's figured out that all these people resisting are making themselves look guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're creating themselves like they're creating the enemy narrative that they're trying to avoid, which is ironic. But let's get into that. Yeah, Kash Patel just got confirmed. Now there was some interesting things happening. I mean, it was a long process. They tried to filibuster this thing. There was somebody who strayed party lines. That was this GOP Senator Susan Collins from Maine. She actually voted against it. A lot of stuff going on. There was a filibuster, which is like, the attempt to kind of delay stuff even further, basically. And we got to go to our buddy, Adam Schiff, the good old Schiffmeister. I feel like that would have been his nickname. Let's hear what he had to say. This was while the vote was going on, just outside of the Senate chambers. Check this out.
This is someone we cannot trust. This is someone who lacks the character to do this job, someone who lacks the integrity to do this job. We know that. Our Republican colleagues know that. The only qualification Kash Patel has to be FBI director is that when everyone else in the first Trump administration said, no, I won't do that, that crosses moral, ethical, and legal lines, Kash Patel said, sign me up. In the first Trump administration, as we are seeing in the second, you rise to the level of your sycophancy, and no one is a bigger or more dangerous sycophant than Kash Patel. This political hack does not deserve to be in this building. He can't do the job. He won't protect the public. He will misuse the resources of the Bureau. He will weaponize it against the president's political opponents rather than protecting the safety, the public safety of the American people. We will vote no. Our Republican colleagues, intimidated by this president and threats of primary challenges from MAGA world, may vote to confirm him. But as my colleagues have said, they will have to live with that vote, be accountable for that vote, and be accountable for all the destruction that Patel does to this premier law enforcement agency. Us Democratic members of this Judiciary Committee, stand shoulder to shoulder with the professionals in the FBI, with law enforcement everywhere, and we wish our colleagues would do the same. And with that, let me...
They'll be standing shoulder to shoulder in fucking handcuffs.
Did you see the picture of this? The actual picture of them? There's 5 of them standing there and nobody listening. There's no crowd. It's a podium, a microphone, those 5 dumbasses, and nobody else.
That's it.
Was there a crowd out of frame? Because I saw that in a lot of times, from both sides. Like they just do photos like that.
I mean, not unless they were standing 30 feet away, So yeah. I mean, look, here's what I heard. This really sucks, man, because now we're going to lose our ability to persecute and weaponize our justice system the way that we see fit, like we have since the beginning of time. And now it's probably going to come out that I've done some things that are going to hurt me and my reputation. Like, I don't know, allegedly, murdering certain people for certain things. Allegedly. There's a really dark story about Adam Schiff, and we don't know if it's true or not, but I think some things are going to come out about him.
Mm-hmm.
People, that's my thing. People who are freaking out at this, they're worried.
And it wasn't just so we're clear, it wasn't an adult.
No shit, really?
Yeah, it was a young boy. Yeah, and then a certain celebrity also may have witnessed this. Maybe like a certain celebrity like Anthony Bourdain. And then all of a sudden he commits suicide. There's a deep conspiracy theory about Adam Schiff, bro.
No shit.
I've never heard this before.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Damn. To me, dude, everybody that's freaking out over Kash getting confirmed, they know it. Like, to me, it's a great sign that accountability is going to come.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Kash said, I'm releasing the Epstein list the first day. Okay, well, that's today or tomorrow, the day that the show airs. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, man.
I'm excited, dude. Look, I'm way more excited about this than I was about anything the last 4
It's a big
8
hurdle
years.
to get over, bro. It's a big hurdle to get him in there.
But I don't know him personally. So we'll see. What do you think?
I'm inclined to think that a lot of stuff is about to come out.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined, based off of what we've seen in the first month of Trump's presidency so far, and how fast they're moving and how much they are actually holding themselves to what they said they were going to do. I am definitely more inclined to think that we are going to start seeing files get released, which I'm extremely excited for.
Me too. But we better see some rest to go with it.
That's the biggest thing. You know, that's the big. I mean, listen, for those of you guys who aren't aware of Kash Patel, he's the guy that blew the whole Russiagate story open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's the one that proved that it was made up and paid for by Hillary Clinton's team to
sanctioned by Obama.
Yeah, dude. For 8 years, they destroyed the country over that narrative.
Yeah.
For 8 years. For 8 years, they called this dude a Russian asset. They said he was getting pissed on by Russian hookers. They made all this shit up about him, and it was in the news cycle 24/7. And they convinced all of these left people, Democrats and leftists, that this guy was a spy. And dude, that cost us the last 8 years of stability of, the way I look at it is this, dude. We only have so many years on this planet, okay? And they have sucked up almost a decade of our time creating civil disturbances, racial tensions, tensions among, people, who have different beliefs or come from different cultures. And dude, this has affected everybody. So what is the crime for making up shit that destroys the cultural fabric of our country, the ability to get along with our friends and our relatives and people we don't know? Like, dude, they've taken so much with that one story. And he did blow it up. And but still at the same time, guys, like, where's the accountability for this? Like, I can appreciate the information coming out.
The transparency.
But dude, like, what I really want to see is I want to see some hung for it. Because dude, these people should not have immunity for the things that they've done, for the COVID or for, like what Elon's discovering now, where they took, billions of dollars, probably trillions of dollars from American taxpayers and pumped it into, literal, what'd they call it the other day? Social engineering propaganda.
Yeah.
So they took regular people who had regular beliefs and regular, they were regular Democrats, and they radicalized them with all this crazy shit with our money. Which, how many relatives do you have, or do you have, or do I have, that, like, now it's like so much damage has been done, you're just like, F them. Like, it really brought out the worst in society, and we're not getting that time back.
Or that money, maybe.
Dude, that's the other thing. Like, do you have that in the show?
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But let's get into the conversation about, the other spending, because, the Doge work is, I mean, there's stuff coming out every single day about it. This new thing that just got found is Department of Education spending soared 749% despite downsizing. New Doge-inspired initiative reveals. So this is a breaking story that just came out. A new initiative is tracking government agency spending in comparison to growth, and a conservative fiscal watchdog group has discovered what it deems to be an alarming trend. According to the Open the Books, staff levels at the Department of Education have decreased since 2000, but the agency's spending grew by 749%. Open the Book says the calculation is, quote, even more galling after recent statistics from the National Assessment of Education Progress showed that student achievement has still not recovered since it saw big drops during the COVID-19 pandemic, which ironically is when they spent the most amount of money. This is the graph you put side by side. So they've lost roughly about 700 employees since the year 2000. But they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars. Most of that money, again, I mean, you look on the graph, was spent during the year's time of COVID. Is really where it started to really accelerate. So that came out. Other things coming out. This is a juicy story. Doge reveals Biden EPA awarded $2 billion to a firm that's linked to election denier Stacey Abrams in a gold bar heist. Lee Zeldin responds. Did you see this shit? So, you guys know Stacey Abrams, right? The big lady, right?
Oh,
Georgia.
yeah, where he was talking about the gold bars being thrown. Yeah,
thrown off the Titanic.
Yeah, please get into this.
Yeah. So Elon Musk's Doge discovered that Joe Biden's EPA awarded $2 billion to a firm linked to failed Democrat Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams. Even worse, the firm only reported $100 in revenue in its first 3 months in business in 2023. How did a brand new firm that only reported $100 in revenue get awarded $2 billion? Earlier this month, Lee Zeldin, administrator of the EPA, provided an update to the money wasted on Biden's watch in response to an undercover video posted by Project Veritas in December. EPA advisor Brent Efron admitted on undercover video to an insurance policy against the Trump administration and said that the agency was funneling billions to climate organizations in a last-minute heist. Quote, "We're throwing gold bars off the Titanic," Efron told a Project Veritas undercover journalist. Last week, Lee Zeldin said his team at the EPA found the gold bars. Now she's in on it, and that's sparking some interesting...
Do you have that video of Zeldin saying that? You guys should all go try to find it, because what he says is basically what we've been talking about on the show for many years, and he confirms it. So the thing with Ukraine, and this is people are starting to understand what was happening. When you guys saw, and we kept seeing the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars going to Ukraine, and then, the last 6 to 8 months, people were getting pissed about it, but they kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lee Zeldin actually explains in that video pretty well what their mindset was, and how he explains it was, they described it with their language of gold bars being thrown off the boat. And what he means is, and this is what I was telling you, they were intentionally printing and sending money out to Ukraine, and right now, another one through Abrams and all this stuff. Remember when I was telling you guys how they were taking the money, sending it to Ukraine, because they knew that the currency was going to fail, and then they're going to convert the currency into assets so it can bridge the gap to a digital currency.
Yep, and they'd all be set up.
They'd all be rich.
Yeah, right.
Right. That's what's happening right now. So these people are stealing the money. When they actually track the money down, they're going to find that this money has all been spent on different assets. It's not just sitting in an account. So he describes it pretty well, Lee Zeldin. You could probably Google the clip. But basically, they knew that their time was running out, so they wanted to rush all the money out the door and the American people so that they could be wealthy. And that's an unforgivable crime. It's an unforgivable crime. Well, and dude, I'm happy. Like I know you're optimistic, Becky, about these things happening, and I agree with you. The Trump is moving fast. But dude, I still have yet to see or hear of any accountability whatsoever.
Like what we're doing with these people.
Yeah, and that is a big problem for me personally. Like if they don't hold, if the Trump administration doesn't arrest some of these people and put some of these people in prison who have done these things, to me, they're just part of the fucking of the machine, just another part. And we're gonna find out.
Yeah. Well, I think Kash is the final, because you got to think, as the FBI highest, legal, police enforcement authority, that's who has to do that. And so, I mean, I try to give, grace and patience where it's due, right? And like, you can't tip the hand too quickly. You can't, what I'm saying? Like if Trump was to come out and say before Kash was, put in.
I agree with that.
It'd be hard to
I agree with
accomplish that. So like,
Plus, dude, there's a time of delay, okay? Even when you run a business, you make changes in a very small business, it takes 90 days to see those results.
Mm-hmm.
That's just reality. So he hasn't had 90 days, and he's got the biggest business in the fucking world. So I appreciate what's happening, and I'm not being critical, but there's parts to this that need to happen too.
Yeah.
And the American people deserve a reconciliation for the crimes that have been committed against them.
Yeah.
And the reconciliation, unfortunately, especially with the tax situation, it's not going to be monetary at any significant level. They say, oh, well, we'll give you $5,000. Well, fuck, bro. I've been paying taxes for the last 20 years and they've been getting stolen and squandered. That's bullshit.
It's a little bit more than $5,000.
Yeah. So, but then again, right? How do you make it right? Mm-hmm. Well, you would have to trace all of the money into the assets, seize the assets, liquidate the assets, and redistribute the money back to the people that paid it. It's probably not going to happen. That's a big problem for me. Okay. The elimination of the IRS completely, the elimination of property tax completely. Those things have to happen, dude. It's not okay that people who work their whole lives to own their house or to, they own and they got their car paid off, but yet they still got to pay tax every year to own it. These are squeezes on the American people that clearly serve no real outcome that benefits us. Okay. So then what is the other reason that we are taxed this way? Well, it has to be so that they can intentionally handicap the American people so that they have to struggle so hard that they can't notice or question what is actually being stolen from them. So the fact that these taxes actually exist at all is evidence of the intent to control and financially press our citizenship, which is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be fixed.
Yeah. I think too, it's like, it's always interesting to see, people's reaction. One, I think to your point, at the end of the day, the people have to call for that. The people have to demand that.
That's right.
And it's like,
but dude, I'm not so optimistic that's going to happen because, dude, first of all, everybody's culturally conditioned at paying those taxes. They don't think about where they go or what's going on. There would have to be so much mass awareness brought to this issue. I mean, dude, this is coming out, and I talk to people who own businesses, who are CEOs, they still are not following the story. Okay, so the awareness of the problem has to be so big that people demand it. And real talk, like I'm not confident that they're going to, because it seems like people have completely forgotten about COVID, and COVID was one of the worst crimes against humanity that ever happened. So if they're not going to stand up and demand accountability for Fauci and Klaus Schwab and all these people who facilitated COVID, they sure as fuck aren't going to do it now. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have some leadership, like some influential people really lean on these people to make these changes happen. And I hope that people do get loud. And I think they will if they understand.
They really understood what was happening.
If people really understood how they were controlled through the tax system, how we are handicapped and intentionally made to struggle, and then understood that these people literally steal their money so that they can have planes and houses and mansions and boats and all this shit, I think people will get pissed enough. But the problem with it is, dude, is a lot of people are still struggling so hard that they can't afford to, like, imagine this, dude. Imagine someone who's working and they're like literally every dollar is accounted for. And in fact, every dollar is accounted for and they're still losing. And then they have a wife or a husband and multiple kids that they have to run around and try to feed and try to take care of and try to, like, dude, you have fucking kids. How much attention can you, I mean, this is your job, but if it wasn't, it would be hard to follow.
It'd be really hard.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to get to a point of critical mass where the average citizen understands completely how bad their life has been fucked by these people.
I think that we're getting there, though, especially with how fast Doge is rolling out these reports. You know, the masses are starting to wake up, especially if you hop on X and you're following Elon. Like, it's just day after day after day, and people are starting to realize. What I think is difficult is people have a difficult time conceptualizing that amount of money. Like, whenever you say $2 billion, most people have zero ability to conceptualize that amount of money. But also, people are failing to understand that our taxation is literally extortion. And I don't know if you saw my video the other day, but like I'm talking about it in terms of extortion, because that's what it is. They are extorting you. If you do not give us this amount of your money,
you go to jail.
You're going to go to jail.
That's right. It's not theft. People keep saying, "Oh, taxation is theft." It's not theft.
No, it's extortion.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we're tax slaves in this country. And I think people are starting to understand, you know, with raised awareness, that we are all in over 50%. We are slaves to the government.
Yeah.
And we are being extorted through taxation. This is not freedom.
No, it isn't freedom.
Yeah.
It's just not.
No, I think, Becky, I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine earlier today. I think that is probably the biggest hang up to that demand and that call, is because, bro, people can barely conceptualize $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, in their bank account.
Yeah,
So, like,
and the reason is because of what these people are doing.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, they say $2 billion. Like, well, no, all right. You know, but like the fact that we even have $2 billion to just off is a problem. That should tell you right there, hey, like, we probably putting too much in if we can afford to even send $10 million to Mozambique for
See
male
what
sex
Schumer
offenders.
said yesterday? He goes, of course there's some government misspending, but you don't take a meat cleaver and just cut. Yes,
Yes,
you do.
you do.
You do.
All of you wasteful pieces of shit who have been taking all of our money for all these years. Dude,
Yep.
Did you see that Fauci spent $241 million on transgender surgeries for animals?
yeah.
Yep. Got
Like,
that right here.
Oh, okay. Bet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, bro, why would you do that to black people, bro? Like, that's like you're just using them as
What?
What?
Those are animals, not black people.
That was monkey.
Wait, are you being for real right now?
Is that your third terrible joke?
Huh?
That was a joke.
I saw monkeys. I f***ed up.
Oh my God. Not only is that a waste of taxpayer money, but it's so unethical. Like, if you're actually like reading the report, it is wildly unethical to be doing this to animals. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I agree.
Bro, it's insane. Listen, Fauci. I think who's number one to get? Like,
I mean, who's on the list?
Yeah, like
The big show list?
the big show list.
Fauci's up there. Clintons are up there. There's lots of people that are up there. I think everybody who's stolen $1 from the American people for their own gain, whether it be $1 or $100 million, the principle is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not your money. That's our money that we have had to work and sweat and bleed and sacrifice for. You.
Yep.
I don't care if they took $1 out of the drawer and got a soda. Like, it should be zero. And with the amount of technology that we have today, it should be easy to track. You guys force us to track it. If we're missing $600 and PayPal it to some person in our family who couldn't eat because of you, we get in trouble. Like, the standard should be the same. Every law that's passed should apply to them and us. Whatever we can do, they can do. Whatever they can do, we can do. And if that were actually the case, they'd pass some better laws.
Right.
But that's not the case. The case is they get to do whatever they want, and they pass laws for us because somewhere along the line, they have started to consider themselves royalty or superior or the ruling class or whatever you want to call it. It's been called many things throughout history. They believe that it's them and us. And it is us and them, but we have the power and they don't. And if we were to ever flex that power, these would be on stakes because they have started to completely accept the culture in Washington, D.C. outside of a few individuals is completely tyrannical and abusive towards the citizens of this country. Completely. They do not care. They do not relate. They don't know where the average person lives.
How they live.
They cannot comprehend it, bro. They're out of touch. These guys go to dinners at the best steakhouses, the best sushi restaurants. They fly on private planes. They jerk each other off for backdoor deals. They steal our money. And then they act like it's okay. You hear them talk. They say, like, the Democrats are out in the they're protesting and they're saying, keep your hands off the money. Keep your hands off our money. That's not your money. Mm-hmm. And they're so used to thinking of it as their money that they have no problem saying it out in open. Like, it's insane, dude. Like, we are so past what should be accepted by the American people. Like, it's almost like, I can't believe that we're this far along and nobody's had to deal with any consequences.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's interesting, right?
Like, dude, even from the individual, even from an individual, like Steve down the street who fucking lost his job because he wouldn't get a vaccine. Like, where, like, I don't know. I would have thought at this point in time that these people would not be safe walking down the street for what they've done. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think there has to be some type of like.
Because I can tell you this, bro. If I got my life ruined because of Chuck Schumer, Chuck Schumer would be in a fucking hole.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I mean, you talk about reconciliation, right? And the only thing that's been mentioned so far is Trump came out and floated this, giving 20% of savings from Doge to American citizens, right? And I want to be clear here, like that, the $5,000 amount that didn't come from Trump, that didn't come from Elon. But they've been floating this, giving 20% and then using the rest to kind of like help come down on our deficit and stuff, right?
They're missing a very key part: American tax-paying citizens.
Yeah.
People who haven't paid in don't get any of that shit back.
Well, no, they've calculated that in the full Doge thing there. But yeah, I mean, let's check this clip out from Trump.
There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt.
I don't think it's enough. Like,
no, it's not enough. No.
We need income tax gone, property tax gone. We need to reduce taxation across the board. Like, even going 10% all in, like, I think we're at a period of time where we need to go lower than that, especially with what we're seeing right now. Like, I like the idea as a starting point, but I don't think it's enough.
I totally agree. And I've said 10% for years and years and years. But also, I was shocked. As much as I've judged these people and knew they were stealing, I am shocked at the level of which they have done so. And so that has like changed my, you'll find many clips on the internet where I say 10%, 10%, 10%. And now I'm like, fuck that.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero, man.
Like, dude, we
haven't even seen it
all. Look, dude, here's the reality. Maybe it should be 5%. Because we have to pay for the government to do certain things. But the government should be structured in a way just like every other business. Like, we can only do what we can afford to do. And this is our budget. And this is what these guys don't operate that way. Mm-hmm. They just do shit. So instead of saying, here's the tax and, do whatever you want with it, we should say, here's the amount of tax that you're going to get, and the government has to operate within that budget completely, and that's it, like a normal business.
Yeah, everybody else has to abide by those rules. I mean,
bro, if we changed a few things, like term limits, like you said, passing laws that they were held accountable to, eliminating lobbies, like these very simple things create a scenario where they're not abusing us anymore because it doesn't benefit them to do so. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason for someone to go into Washington, D.C. worth nothing and come out worth $75 million That
and nobody questions it. Nobody.
Oh,
questions
people
it.
question it. I was just about to say, I bet if they weren't allowed to do all of that insider trading and take money from lobbyist groups, it would reframe the way that they thought about taxation, because they would have to start living like everyone else has to live.
Yeah.
Because we don't get that money.
Yeah.
And we are under these incredibly oppressive tax systems, these extortion systems.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if they had to live as a normal American, perhaps they would rethink the way that they're running the country. Maybe.
Or it would attract ethical individuals who have actual knowledge of how to run a business and keep things in line, AKA our best and brightest contributors to this country, and not a bunch of scumbag shit bums that can't, like, dude, like, you worked here 5 years. Do you think any of these fuckers could work here?
Oh, no.
They couldn't even work here. Couldn't even work here.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when you make the goal,
That woman, who's that woman?
that's Susan Collins, who voted no on Cash.
Couldn't fucking work here.
No.
Show me any of these motherfuckers that could work here. Trump could work here. He'd be good.
Cash could work here.
Cash could work here.
Yeah.
Fucking Eric Schmidt could work
He
here.
could work here.
Okay. But outside of like a handful of people,
Couldn't do it.
couldn't even
No.
do it.
Well, that's the thing. And I think if the goal was truly back on like putting the interest in the American people, one, you wouldn't have to stay in for 40 fucking years. You get in, you make those fucking changes, and then you would go live in the society of and deal with the consequences of the decisions you made while in office.
Or if you were good, you would go live in the society that you helped create. That's amazing. For
That's what I'm
everybody.
saying. Yeah, like go make the votes, do your things, get
But
out,
listen,
and go live.
people should be forced to sleep in the bed they made. That's it. And these people aren't.
No, that's why they're a bit too busy making their own beds.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. With that being said, let's go cruise some. Got a few. Becky, I even got some for you.
You bet. Sweet.
This first comment comes from at Texas Voyager. He says, telling DJ he is crazy for never seeing Days of Thunder is like calling Andy out for never seeing Boys in the Hood. Have you seen Boys in the Hood?
Yeah. I've seen Boys in the Hood, bro. What are you talking about?
You seen Don't Be a Menace?
Yeah.
All right, fuck. All right.
Joe, you think I haven't seen Boys in the Hood? You don't even know who the soundtrack of Boys in the Hood. Who's on the soundtrack, Boys in the Hood? DJ, Mr. Music. You can't even tell me. So I don't want to hear this shit.
It's fucking Tupac, bro.
No, it ain't. Tupac wasn't even a artist then.
What?
Is Tupac on the track for Boys in the Hood?
It was Tupac.
It's NWA, bitch.
Oh,
I set you up, baby.
Yeah.
fucked up, Joe. Joe, look, white people sticking together. That's what that was. Yep.
I was thinking of Juice, by the
You
way.
don't even know what NWA stands for.
I know what it stands
What?
for. Ninjas with Attitude.
Okay.
I know what that stands for. Yeah. Yep.
Bro, I rap every song on that soundtrack. You guys are misunderstanding my hip hop knowledge.
Yeah.
I've been around since the beginning. Okay? Like, you fuckers came in, you think Future's the guy.
That's Madot. That's not me.
Fuck out of here.
That's Madot. That's not me. It's not me.
He's all right. Yeah, that's fine. But, like, bro, you guys don't even know what rap is. And this guy here, I can't believe this young man thinks I don't know Boys in the Hood, bro. That's offensive.
What movie haven't you seen?
All the gay stuff that you've seen. Yeah. Oh, what do you like? I like, what's that?
The Notebook?
No, yeah, you like The Notebook.
Notebook's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
Notebook's not good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. All right, next comment.
Wait, what's that? What's that?
Brokeback
figure skating
Mountain?
movie? Yeah, I know
Finger
that's your favorite.
skating movie. I've never seen
Do you know
Brokeback
Gleaming
Mountain.
the Cube?
Gleaming the Cube?
Okay,
No. What is that?
don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. I'll search it later. That's fine. This next comment.
Did you watch Days of Thunder?
No, I'm not. I'm not had a chance to yet. Yeah. All right. Next comment comes from JBS7551. He says, Black Days of Thunder would be nights of looting. It's not funny.
No, it's not. You're right. It's not funny.
All right. I think we've had that movie a few times in this country, actually. Yep, I've seen a few of those movies, actually. The next comment comes from at Ryan Harris 5769. He says, came here from podcast just to let you both know, Andy and DJ, that Ironical is a real word.
Is it?
It is.
Did you look it up?
It is. Ironical.
Is that the Urban Dictionary? Did you make that? Did you make that for him?
Nope.
Oh, it is?
It's a real word.
Okay.
Ryan's got my back. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Yep. All right.
Did you learn that in your book?
What's that? No.
Your reading book I got.
I really didn't know it was a real word. It just sounded.
What page is the fucking ironical on DJ's book here? Oh, there it is, page 53.
Mm-hmm.
Ironical. No, I'm just kidding. It's not in there because it ain't a real word.
It's a real word, man.
According to who?
Wherever I screenshotted this from. Next one. Now, Becky, you've been getting some heat, and I think I think it's funny. The video that's been going viral of you lately.
The Elon one?
The one Elon shared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one, and listen, I love my American brothers and sisters. There's some really low IQ people on the right, like really low.
No shit.
A lot of people didn't know you were like joking.
Oh my God. Dude, the comments, it's hilarious. Like, they don't realize that it's satirical content.
It's like, see, look at this blue-haired liberal. This is what I'm talking. I'm like, bro, wait.
This it, them belongs in an insane asylum. This fucking communist. And I'm
No, they
oh
didn't.
my God.
No, that's one of them. I got
yes.
right here. Marty Schrabel. He said, who exactly is this dumbass and why should I be listening to it?
Yeah.
Marty. It's satire.
Yep.
Bro.
Leslie Pennell, she says, yep, there is a demon. What's this? What's that emoji there? What is that? Is that a new thing on Twitter?
That's the bigot emoji.
Is that what it is? She's
I mean,
a
you
verified
can't make fun
bigot.
of Becky because she's gay.
It's true.
Yeah. So you're a fucking bigot, bitch. Leslie.
If you dye your hair purple at least 10 times, you get that.
Yeah. Oh, is that what that is?
I think so.
That's a special verification.
Demon.
You got a demon in you,
Becky
Becky.
Demon.
Got a demon in her. Yeah, man.
Dude, people are so fucking stupid.
Bro.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was so on par with
your ability. It was your ability to deliver sarcasm is top notch.
just getting character. Yeah.
It's top notch. I mean, I could
was proud of
understand
that
how
one.
I could understand how low IQ people with no sense of humor, could.
It's people on the right making themselves look like idiots because they're quick reacting.
Yeah.
And like they watch the entire thing, and you should know that it's satire because in the beginning I literally opened by saying I wish the government would extort us more. Like, how do you think that that's real?
Yep.
Dude,
The
internet's stupid.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The internet's stupid. We're smart. The internet's stupid. It is what it is. Fuck you.
Yep, full of Leslies and Martys.
Leslie, calm down, Leslie.
There were so many that went so viral, and like it's just full of like these freaking pronoun people. I stopped listening immediately. I'm like, you have no idea who I am and what I do.
You've been slaying those people for fucking years.
Yeah, man. Guys, we do appreciate you for being real.
Leslie, you bigot.
Even you, Leslie. We appreciate you. Let's keep this cruise moving, though. I got headline number 2 for you guys. Let's go.
I want to say this. The alt-right fucking right is annoying as fuck.
They're pretty annoying.
Oh, they're just as bad.
I can't stand you who fucking try to. Now the new thing is like, if you don't post about Jesus every day, you're going to hell. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, you know how many people I know that post about God that I know for sure are going to fucking people? Or using it as like their way to make money in business. Like, I know a lot of people like that. I see it every day, and so do you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pet peeve of mine, dude.
No, understood. So I get that.
That thing of where people use it to get business.
Yes.
I cannot stand it.
There's that, but also like this sect of, I don't even want to say Christianity, but like your religious zealots who are in my comments and my DMs all the time. Like, you need to pray to God. You need to repent. You need to all this stuff.
How do they know you don't?
That drives people like me. Like, that's why I stopped going to church a long time ago.
Dude, I get it. Like, there's all kinds of assumptions made on the internet about everybody. And it's just like, dude, like, you do you, I'll do me. This is what the America's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. And I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to get on there and talk about that kind of stuff. Like, my relationship with God is mine.
That's right.
And like that is mine.
That's right.
And all these people coming in, who are telling me all this kind of stuff. I'm like, you're the reason why people don't go to church.
That's 100%, dude. The Christian faith and church would have way more people in it if the totally that 2% that you're talking about would shut the up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, bro, like imagine sitting next to that guy for an hour every week.
Yeah.
I'm holier than you.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
You know, like they're the most judgmental people too, bro.
and they got the most shit in the closet.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Well, dude, it's like anything. People like to create like a smoke screen
Yeah.
for who they actually are.
100%.
You know,
man.
they're in church, they're being nice, they're doing all the prayers, and then you walk out. And by the way, if you go to church and you're a normal human and you're a good, great. Cool. I support that. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that young people are finding their faith and finding
Moral
something.
standards.
Yes, that provides some moral framework other than what we've experienced in this country for the last 20 years. I think it's amazing. Okay, but you motherfuckers, some of you motherfuckers ruin it for everybody.
Yep.
Like real talk. You know, they go to church and then they come out on the way out and like you know, they flip you off in the parking lot.
Yeah, right.
Because you cut them off.
Right.
You know?
On their way to the fucking, casino.
Or whatever.
Yeah. It's whatever, man. But let's go take a trip over to our foreign buddies. Let's go check out.
I can't dude, my number one pet peeve though of all of these people are people that fucking use it to make money and drive people to their I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's judgmental shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into headline number 2. Let's go over and check on good old Ukraine and Russia and the relationship and what's happening over there. I think that's important. A lot of interesting stuff happening over there. So let's talk about it a little bit. Headline number 2. Let's get started. We got Zelensky cancels Saudi Arabia trip after exclusion from U.S. Russia talks. So this was like the first thing recently that's been happening. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Tuesday said he postponed a visit to Saudi Arabia to express his disapproval of the United States and Russia beginning bilateral negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. This is basically the little kid got pissed because they're making him go sit at the children's table during dinner while the grown-ups discuss the important stuff, is how I take it. But yeah, he's got pissed. Quote, "We're not invited to this Russian-American meeting in Saudi Arabia. It was a surprise for us. I don't want any coincidences, so I'm not going to Saudi Arabia," Zelensky said after a meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip in Ankara. By coincidences, Zelensky evidently meant that he did not want his planned visit to Saudi Arabia to be mistaken as an endorsement of the meetings held between U.S. and Russian diplomats in Riyadh this week. So you had that happen. It also came out that the Ukraine peacekeeping plan Starmer will present to Trump. Did you see the UK offered to send like 30,000 troops to Ukraine? To which, of course, the Kremlin said that any plan to send European troops to Ukraine would be unacceptable for Russia and would escalate the situation that they're trying to calm down. So, I mean, who told Starmer to even suggest that? Why do we want this thing to keep going?
What do you mean?
I know the answer. But I think that's the question that people like, what's the point of keeping this thing going? Why would they want the... They've been stealing money the entire time. All these people have been stealing money, dude. Everybody, every fucking person that is involved in this that wants it to continue is getting paid. Is making money.
Okay, and what's sad about this is how many Ukrainian men have died for this. Okay, there's not a person in the whole entire universe that believes that Ukraine could win a war with Russia. Zelensky doesn't believe that. Everybody else knows it. Okay, so this motherfucker got all these Ukrainian men killed so he could have a fucking boat, so he could have a fucking house, so he could be on the payroll. Bro, it's insane.
Did you see whenever it came out that he was talking about how he didn't know where most of the money went, how all that money was sent over? And he's like, I don't know where it went.
Yeah. The most recent shipment was like 175 million.
No. What he said was they sent 175 billion and he only got 70 to 80 billion. Okay. And he doesn't know where the rest went. Well, the rest went to the people who sent you. That was their cut, bro. Like, holy shit, he knows exactly where the fuck it went.
Yeah, he knows where it went.
Yeah.
He knows where it went. And that's why I think, you
Bro,
see
Zelensky's got all kinds of shit people don't even know about, dude. He at one point he had like 3 fucking $30 million houses. One of them was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a $300 million fucking yacht. Like, dude, this guy, how did he get the money? How did he get the money? He was given fucking blowjobs on national TV 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like dressed up in a fucking leather suit like the Gimp in Pulp Fiction. You probably never saw that either.
I've seen Pulp Fiction.
But oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Very good.
John Travolta.
Very good.
Classic movie.
Okay. Well, do you know the part in the Gimp? You don't know it. You see, you're lying. You haven't even seen Pulp Fiction. You're not allowed to talk about movies, bro.
Okay.
Anyway, where'd he get the money? He's younger than me.
Yeah.
I've worked my whole ass off. I've built a number of successful companies. Okay? I don't have a $300 million yacht. Oh, that's right. Because the whole time I've been building the companies, they've been stealing half my money.
It's fucked up. But I think a lot of this.
And then telling everybody else that people like me are the problem.
Yeah. That's
holy shit, man.
But we've been seeing this like change with Trump to Zelensky. And to the point where Trump calls Zelensky a dictator as the rift between two leaders deepen. They just called him a dictator. Again, Zelensky's pissed at all of this, but I wanted to dive into that a little bit because, what's Trump talking about? What makes him a dictator?
Well, I don't know. He canceled elections.
Oh, Andy, did he cancel his elections? No, he didn't cancel his elections, Andy. He declared martial law, which canceled the election.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the Democrats think that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, let's do it here.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. He declared martial law February 24th, 2022. Hours after Russia launched its full-scale invasion.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do it here either.
What, martial law? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Many countries have been in war. They've all still held their elections. That's a democratic republic. That's what's supposed to happen in democracies,
Well, he also got all of his men killed.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
To the point where they're conscribing people and kidnapping them off the street.
Well, not even that.
Imagine walking down the street and then being like, damn, dude, you look like you could fight in the car, and we're going to kill you. That's what dictators do.
Yep.
Do you ever get on X? There are legitimate videos of that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where they run down the street and it looks like a kidnapping.
It is a kidnapping.
Yeah. Like if you've seen Old School, right? Like when they pull up in the van. You've seen Old
School. Is that the skate movie?
God damn. How the none of you motherfuckers seen Old School?
That Bow Wow?
Have you seen it?
I've seen the Old School. Is that with Bow Wow in it?
Will Ferrell, Snoop Dogg's in it.
Oh, nope. All right, I'm gonna head out.
Bro, you how can you?
Bro, let's have a movie night and get me caught up.
I'm not watching no movies with you. You don't even know what a good movie is. You be talking the whole time, real loud.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Yeah, we know.
It's fucked up.
Is it true?
No, it's not true.
Oh, it's not
true for me.
It's.
Motherfucker,
I am telling you, that is
a
stereotype that is as true as the smoke alarms.
Oh, hell no. Bitch, you better run.
That's exactly right. Now, look, I think it's funny. It doesn't really bother me, but it is true.
Yeah.
So you can't watch movies at my house.
I get it.
Period.
I get it. That's fine. But yeah, and a lot of stuff's been going on. I got this clip here for you. This is the most recent collection of Trump on Zelensky. Let's watch this.
And it's a ridiculous war, and it has to end. We had a good talk with President Putin. I had a good talk with President Zelensky. And, it lasted for a long time, over an hour. This morning, I also had with President Zelensky a very good call after that. And I think we're on the way to getting peace. Well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. And I'm very disappointed. I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating. And yeah, I would say that, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. Think of it, a modestly successful comedian. President Zelensky talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that basically couldn't be won. Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions of people have unnecessarily died. And you can't bring a war to an end if you don't talk to both sides. You got to talk. They haven't been talking.
And Zelensky's pissed about that, but
well, his greed's going to get him killed. That's what's going to happen. Okay, like his little temper tantrums and shit. Listen, very small man. You're with Donald Trump now. Yeah, like, bro, I think he thinks he's going to continue this out and make more and more money and do more and more damage for his own benefit. Look, dude, this is the worst guy on the earth. Okay, he's the worst guy on the earth. They're trying to say that Putin's the guy or Trump's the guy. This is the worst guy on the planet right now. How many people have died? How many of Ukrainians have died in this conflict?
Well, what they tell us.
How many?
Yeah, what they tell us is like 70,000.
Well,
there's a reason Trump's saying millions.
It's got to be higher than that.
Well, you got to think, but who's telling us 70,000, right? Well, it's the same media that our taxpayer dollars are going to tell us that it's 70,000.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they gotta be able to tell the American people that all the money we're sending over there is actually doing something, and like, yeah, Ukraine's doing great.
Anyway, a whole lot of people. God, dude, imagine like intentionally. Imagine. I can't imagine that kind of evil, dude. I just can't. Like, I can't imagine someone sending all of their men to die who knows that you can't win the war for money, for personal for material shit. Bro, I like material shit. I love cars. I love cool shit. There is not a place in this universe where I would say, oh, I'm going to send my people to die so I can get some more shit. Like, that's insane.
Well, I think too. I mean, here's a good
dude.
question.
That's insane. That's insanely evil. Like, all of these families who lost their men, who lost their dads, their brothers, their fucking cousins, their sons. They wiped out an entire generation or two of Ukrainian men. And do you think that they didn't know they were doing that? Do you think that they weren't aware? Do you think that wasn't the plan? Do you think any of these people don't know that that's intentionally going on? The question is, why? Mm-hmm. Why are we removing all of the Ukrainian men from Ukraine? Well, I have a feeling that we will find out fairly soon. But I think it's interesting that nobody talks about this, because we talk about all these little ethnic cleansings. You know what the ethnic cleansings have been happening the last 3 years? The biggest one in Ukraine by its own guy.
Well, I think that's going to be the interesting thing to see too.
And then they got the Ukrainian people here to cheer for it.
Right. I think that's going to be the most interesting thing, though, is like, because here's the thing that I know for certain, right? Zelensky, he's a interest person, right? He cares about himself. So what's going to happen when that tick gets separated from him? One,
it's happening.
But when it's completely cut off, and then, there might be some potential charges coming to him, he's going to start singing like a bird.
Yeah.
Which, full circle jerk, goes back to the whole reason we are even involved in this situation.
He will die before that.
You think so?
They will have him killed. He will be dead. I bet Zelensky isn't even alive for another 12 months. He knows too much shit.
Knows way too much.
There's been a regime change here. There's new sheriffs in town here. I would bet I wouldn't even give him 12 months. I'd give him like 3 months.
Back to the whole money thing. Like having all your people killed for monetary gain. I think that this is a really good example, but I think that we can look at a lot of different wars under the same light.
Yeah.
Like most wars, you're
almost
looking at
all of them in modern history,
where we are knowingly sending our sons and daughters to go overseas and get killed for money.
Why else? Why else though? Why else would they do that? Why else would they remove the baddest ass, most capable men and women of your country? Why would you send those people to die?
For population control.
Less having to fight with them here.
Less resistance, population control. There's all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, I feel like Ukraine is a shining example of what's been happening in every other war, maybe just to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
It's just more obvious whenever we're looking at Ukraine. But this is how I feel about the warmongering complex in general.
Yeah.
It's all for money, and they get people killed for it.
I agree with you. I think this has been happening for fucking
too long.
I think it's been happening since 1913. I don't think any war that we fought since 1913 was a quote unquote real war, and people get real mad about that when you say that. But all of these things were about controlling money. They were all about controlling money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, guys, jump into this conversation.
Do you think it's a coincidence that we have a conflict every single generation that costs us our highest drive, testosterone-filled men in every generation? Do you think that's a coincidence?
No.
I don't think that's a coincidence at all. I think if I were trying to control the world, I would say, how do we get the highest testosterone men of all these countries to fight each other so that we have less of those people so that we could control them? That would make sense. Like, fuck, dude, I don't want to get bit by those two dogs. Let's make them fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens, happens, because at least they won't be biting us.
You make a shit ton of money doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's disgusting shit, dude.
Yeah, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. That being said, let's get to our third and final headline, guys. We got headline number 3. Headline number 3 reads, RFK Jr.'s first move as health secretary sparks outrage from transgender advocates. So RFK's in, and he's starting to do his work. I think he's coming after Coca-Cola also, which I like Diet Coke. Be honest, you can't.
Trump ain't gonna let that Diet Coke get.
That's what I'm saying.
Down.
Like,
there's
bro,
no way.
Listen,
he's got a fucking button on his desk to bring Diet Cokes.
Yeah, he does.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard that.
I mean, Diet Coke.
I heard that
bro.
there's a dude that walks around Donald Trump with fucking Diet Cokes ready to go. Yeah, that's what I heard, dude. Like, I asked my buddies that are around him, and they're like, "Yeah, bro. Like, he gets Diet Cokes.
Keep Diet Cokes on. Leave my aspartame alone, bro. I like Diet Coke.
Yeah,
Diet Coke's good. But RFK is moving off to something different to start with. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has taken aim at a transgender language in one of his first acts as health secretary. His new agency, the Department of Health and Human Services, released new guidance for the government and public that gives a narrower definition of sex. The February 19th memo states that the move will support the president's executive orders intended to, quote, restore the concept of biological truth in federal government and defend women. The new HHS document says only 2 sexes will be recognized, male and female. It also provides new narrow definitions of words like sex, female, woman, girl, male, man, boy, mother, and father. RFK Jr., former Democrat, said, quote, the prior administration's policy of trying to engineer gender ideology into every aspect of public life is over. The department also launched a website promoting these definitions and created a video defending a ban on transgender women participating in women's sports. That was also prompted by Trump's January 20th executive order titled Defending Women from Gender Ideology Extremism and Restoring Biological Truth to the Federal Government. Now, I think we all agree that's good. These are good things that are happening. Of course, the left is going to have a response. So let's go to Ohio first real quick. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this video, but new Ohio lawmakers have proposed a new law that bans men from ejaculating without intent of conception, would fine men up to $10,000 per ejaculation. The bill was brought forward by Democratic state reps Anita Somani and Tristan raid. Let's check this out.
Sponsored by Democratic State Representatives Anita Somani, an OBGYN from Dublin, and Tristan Rader of Lakewood.
The whole entire point of this bill is to call out the hypocrisy of particularly the state legislature when they bring forward bills to regulate women's bodies.
Now, there are exceptions to the proposed law, which include sperm donation, contraception, and members of the LGBTQ community. Men face a maximum $10,000 fine after the third offense if they have sex with a woman without the intention of conceiving a child.
Men have the same rights no matter where they go in the country. Women have rights based on where they live.
It just misses the most basic biological facts and leans in towards middle school humor.
Austin Beigel with End Abortion Ohio calls the proposal disrespectful to the pro-life community and a waste of state resources.
They have to review it when they file it. They're going to have to stick a legal team on it, wasting time on that and delaying other bills that are trying to be reviewed as well.
ABC6 asking viewers about the proposal in an online poll. 26% said it's a good idea. 74% telling us it's a waste of time.
Why was the LGBT people excused?
Because they can't procreate.
Oh, so they can just masturbate and ejaculate, no problem. But
well, it actually doesn't
I'm
make
looking
sense.
at $100,000 a day.
Yeah, so I did see this come through, and it's literally just to make an example of, what they think of as ridiculous anti-abortion laws. And I'm not necessarily going to get into this, but it is a waste of time and taxpayer money. And I think it's ridiculous that we're at a point right now where lawmakers are so unserious that they're actually creating things like this. Mm-hmm. Like, we live in radically unserious times right now, in this regard at least.
I totally agree.
It's so stupid.
It's just an example of how they take all of the resources and time and the money that they use to pay themselves off of our backs. It's entitlement, dude. Like, they think it's totally okay for them to just have unlimited resources off of our backs. I just think it's all I can think about, honestly. Like, that's the only thing I've been able to think about ever since this started to come out is I've worked my whole life to have half my money stolen for nothing. Like, that's a hard thing for me to accept. I think the punishment for these people needs to be very severe.
Yeah.
Well, back to what RFK is saying about the language regarding, sex, male, female. That's another example of, like, people are saying, oh, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Absurd that we have gotten to a point where this has to be legislated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's ridiculous it was ever allowed to happen in the first place. That's a big problem. That's a big problem I see with a lot of the things happening right now, is that we're all happy that we're getting things to go our way, but all of those things we should have had anyway. So I don't look at it as, oh, we're getting all these gifts. I mean, look how we're behaving. We're behaving like happy little, seals that are getting tossed little bitty fish and clapping our hands to get things that we should have already had.
It never should have been a question to begin with.
Ever.
Trump said there's only male and female. Woo!
Yeah, dude. Or the border's getting closed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, right.
Taxes, we found out that they were wasting, like,
we're celebrating the wrong shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're forgetting what we're not getting anything we shouldn't have already had. Mm. And so we need to be careful not to, like, worship the people that are doing this, because, dude, all they're really doing is giving us the shit we should have already had. And if we're getting the shit that we should have already had and expected to be excited about it, you know what it makes me think? What are they taking that we're not noticing? Or what are they doing that they're giving us this? Because, dude, I just have this hard time believing that we're not in a shell game right now. Like, and because somebody else is going to get something big, they're going to give us some things here. It's just a weird feeling I have. I kind of always have this feeling in life when I know I'm about to get screwed, and, like, dude, I feel like we're expected to cheer for things. Like, dude, look, man, I'm happy that Trump is moving the direction he's moving. I'm excited. but nothing's happened yet. I didn't get any more money in my fucking check.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Nope.
Yeah, did you?
Mm-mm.
I didn't see anybody go to jail yet. Did you?
Nope.
Okay, I haven't seen shit. I've seen a bunch of shit on the news about these things they were going to do or that are trying to do, and I understand, like I said, it's going to take time. But until I see these things, I remain highly skeptical of the promises that are being made. And we should all be very aware that we are cheering and being excited for things that we should have already had.
It's cheering to return to baseline.
Yes.
Which I think, like, yes, am I happy that these things are happening? Absolutely. But we need to understand, like, oh, we're just resetting back to a baseline of where we're supposed to be to begin with. And we have so much ground to cover in front of us. Like, getting to baseline, sure, that's great. But that's not the end of the road.
Yeah, you're doing what's expected to be done. Like, cool, do what's unexpected.
I mean,
sharpen some stakes, bro. Like that's unexpected. I'll be happy about that.
Look, man, I'm not sure how I feel about everything. Like, I feel like you feel, Becky. Like, I'm excited. I'm like, yes, okay, this is cool happening. But until I see handcuffs, until I see accountability for what happened during COVID, until I see the financial oppression in this country stop, meaning I don't have to write fucking massive amounts of money to the fucking IRS, like, until that shit stops, it doesn't matter what they say.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter how many stories Fox News puts out about what's going to happen or any of these talking heads. Like, any of these guys, the shit does not matter until it's done to me. And I don't see it happening yet. So I remain skeptical. Trump as a character, the way he handles himself, all that shit, I like him a lot. I think he's funny. He actually reminds me of my dad and some other people that I've been around my whole life. I like the dude. I like his family. But I am in no way, shape, or form going to say that, like, dude, the shit hasn't happened yet. Yeah. So we have to be, I think as American people, we need to be very cognizant of promises made that are not kept, and agree not enough time has passed. But we should also be very, we should at least think about where we are in terms of how we celebrate. Because to call a man and a woman is fucking 3-year-old shit. And we're over here clapping. Yeah. Oh, yeah! The fuck are we talking about? How to get out of the whack in the first place? You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, oh, no, I mean, like, dude, how do you repair? How do you repair someone who has been financially ruined because of the greed? Like, dude, you know how many people lose their marriages over money or lose their lives over money? They kill themselves or they get desperate or they turn to drugs or, like, dude, lives have been ruined, and not just a few. Millions upon millions upon millions of lives have been ruined because of the things these people have been doing and the things specifically that have been done in the last 4 to 5 years to push it across the line in terms of, like, bro, how many businesses got closed during COVID that aren't opening back up? How many dollars got shifted to the biggest companies in the world because they donated to a political campaign? Like, it's irreconcilable. Like how the fuck do you make that right? How do you make it right to the guy who's 50 years old, who's been working his ass off, who hasn't been able to afford very much in his life because he's overtaxed, he's overworked, he's underpaid because of the waste that's happened? And his wife's left him, his kids hate him, he's done the best that he fucking can and it still ain't good enough. How do you fucking fix that? How do you make that right? Because, dude, that should have never been the case. It should never be the case that a man works his whole life at 50 years old and is fucking loses everything because he can't make ends meet because half of his money's being stolen by these corrupt fucking tyrants. You can't fix that. So there needs to be accountability at a minimum. And there needs to be a resetting of the financial operation of this government at a minimum, and it needs to be fucking drastic. Because, dude, this country is the land of opportunity, apparently. It's not. Okay? these people deserve the harshest possible punishment. When I think back of like how hard, like I know a lot of you, nobody's going to feel sorry for me because of where I am currently. But if you knew that what I had to do to get here and the shit I had to eat and the like how easy it would have been if I wasn't having to pay all, like, it just pisses me to off. And it's inexcusable to me. It just is. And it should be to everybody.
I don't think that there's any level of accountability that will ever be enough. I don't think there's any way to go back and fix any of this. You can't fix it. Like, it is beyond a state of like, oh, we'll give you $5,000 or no taxes. Like, you can't unwind time and fix things. But what I am hopeful for is that we can get to a place as a country where we can start setting up future generations for success in healing the future. We cannot heal the past, but we have an opportunity to heal the future so that our kids can grow up to be prosperous and live meaningful lives and not be robbed blindly by the government. We have that opportunity right now, but more meaningful change has to take place. Like, is it great that we have only 2 genders now? Sure. Yeah, but we need substantially more than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, because we still got, little boys identifying as girls competing in girls competitions. The shit's still going on. It's still happening.
Does that say male leapfrogs competitors?
Yeah, leapfrogs competitors at girls pole vaulting meet in Maine. This just happened. Yeah, there's a transgender identifying male competing under the name Katie from Cumberland's Greeley High School. Came out on top in the girls' pole vault competition on Monday during the Maine indoor track meet at Bates College. The thing is that not long ago, when he identified as male, he ranked in 10th place out of 11. 2 years ago, John tied for 5th place in the boys' pole vault. Tonight, Katie won 1st place in the girls' main state Class B championship. So, the shit's still happening. Like, yeah, we're celebrating, cool, but like, I think about these girls.
Bro, fuck these people.
I think about these girls.
No, bro. Fuck these people. That's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Every single human being knows that's wrong. They know it. They know it. We have to stop catering to the fucking loud ultra minority with their insane policies and thought processes that make 0 sense. We all know that's wrong. We fucking all know it. We all know that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. We all know that too. We all know most of this shit. But because people have lacked courage to stand up and say, hey, that's bullshit, here we are. This is what happens when people lose their backbone. Okay? COVID should have never happened. Y'all fucking knew it was wrong, bro. Everybody knew. How many of you wore masks that you didn't want to wear to get along in society? Okay? A lot of you guys say, well, I didn't do that shit. Motherfucker, you did. We got pictures of you in your mask on your social, acting like you're a good little puppet. You're doing the right thing. And now you're like, oh, I didn't do that. There's receipts, bro. Okay? How many people during COVID, DJ, would call us or message us or write in and say, dude, I agree exactly. You guys are right on it. Keep going.
I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do that. Yep. Well, you didn't, and that's why it happened. And that's why this has happened, and that's why all this bullshit has happened. Because we have been made to be afraid to use our voices. And until Americans get the courage to speak up when things are wrong at scale and say, no, I don't give a that this guy has some sort of gender dysmorphia and wants to be a girl. I don't care, bro. Go over there and do it. Stay out of the sports. Until we have enough balls as a society to just call things how they are, the free will continue. So you want to know why this happens? It happens because of the people who know it's wrong that refuse to say a word because they don't want to hear about it on social media or be yelled at HR or whatever. Bro, right is right and wrong is wrong. And we all know the difference between a man and a woman. This is absurd shit. It's absurd. We all know that we shouldn't be tax slaves. We all know that, we all know. We all know Ukraine's bullshit. We all know. But like, dude, how many people that know don't say shit? That's why the fuck it happens. And until that fucking stops, it's going to continue to happen over and over, no matter who's president. Because we'll always be manipulated into some sort of next cause, next thing. You're not a good person if you don't do this. Bro, fuck that. Then I'm not a good person. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to say what I fucking want to say. I'm going to call it the way. And I got the receipts that I've always done that and always been that way. And you know what? When I go to sleep at night and I look myself in the mirror, it makes me proud. A lot of you don't have that. You wonder why you're because you're not even proud of yourself, bro. You don't even have the courage to speak up for right and wrong. And you think you're going to fucking somehow have self-esteem or integrity or confidence in yourself? You're a pussy. You know you're a pussy when you look in the mirror. That's why you feel like shit about yourself. So it can start with using your voice. Am I wrong?
No, not wrong at all, man.
Like, how are you going to feel good about yourself if you know that you let all this shit slide that you know is morally and ethically wrong? You can't. You can't erase that. Dude, I can't stand it. Look, until people have backbone and start, Becky, this is absurd that we're even talking about this.
Right.
It's absurd. Dude, how old, I don't have any kids. How old are kids when they know the difference between a man and a woman?
Yeah, I mean, shit.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe 2.
2, 3.
2.
Yeah, right.
So now we have an entire generation of adults arguing over it in Washington, D.C. That's absurd. It's 2-year-old shit. Bro.
Dude, I've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, I know.
Years.
Very well, too.
And it's still not done. And I don't know if we're going to see it ever really go away in its entirety. Like, I feel like the damage has been done to the community and the brainwashing has been done. And I feel like some of these people are so set in their ways. Like the manipulation and the propaganda and the level of brainwashing done to these people through the funded social engineering. Yeah, it's just it's done.
How do you fix
so
that?
Much, I don't know. Like I've been on it for years, and I feel like it's starting to get better. But like we need more people talking.
Well, dude, and
like
people,
you can't just rely on like, oh, that one lesbian on Instagram who's allowed to say it.
She can say it because she's lesbian. I can't say it.
You mean that one with the demon in her?
Yeah, right.
Oh, fuck, dude. What are we going to do?
It's crazy, man.
How do you get someone to say, damn, dude, I was brainwashed?
It's hard.
It's like a personal journey.
It's a shock to the ego. So like, I don't hide this, but like I went through a liberal phase.
Yeah.
You know, I went away to college. I grew up conservative, went away to college. I became a liberal, raging liberal. I voted for Joe Biden. I don't hide that fact. In coming to terms with the level of deception that I bought into, it was difficult.
How did that happen?
How did I start?
Yeah,
going
like
away?
like I want to hear that. Like,
so I went away to college. I grew up in a conservative home, wonderful parents, strong relationship, great values in my household, and I'm blessed by that. Went away to college, started getting more and more liberal to the point where like it went rapid, and I rapidly went from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. And then I became a mom. And I had my son and COVID hit. And during that time period, I was still kind of in my liberal phase. I was scared out of my mind about COVID, and I was seeing all the propaganda. But then, ironically enough, as the propaganda started rolling out more heavily and like the death tolls are going on the screens, I had this moment because at that point I was back home with my parents because, you know, the situation with my son and the pregnancy and everything, I went back to them for some time. And so I'm there with my parents and I'm surrounded by, you know, they're conservative, they're wonderful people. And I'm seeing these red death toll tickers. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And I started kind of easing myself out of it a little bit. And then I got here. And at the time, like I was still very left of center. And then just being surrounded by more conservative people, more level-headed people, I started gradually pulling out of it. And I had to have a very real conversation with myself and come to terms with the fact that I had been lied to and manipulated and brainwashed, and I had let my identity slide so far down this path without even realizing it. And that's a very difficult conversation to have with yourself, to look back and say, you know what, I was wrong. I was lied to. My character was weak at that time. I had a weak mindset because I was so easily able to be manipulated into this pattern of thinking. And what's hard is a lot of people get so ideologically tied to these political ideas, one side or the other. And whenever you start to realize that this side has been lying to me and I bought the lies, it feels like an attack on your identity. It feels like an attack on who you are as a person. And that's very difficult. And most people cannot look at themselves and have that conversation. Most people cannot sit with themselves and admit, I got duped. I had a weak mind. I had a weak character at the time, and I was taken advantage of. And most people have too much pride to sit down and have that conversation with themselves. And, thank God I was able to get there pretty quick. My liberal phase was very short-lived. It was short, but it was aggressive. I went so far, so fast. And coming out of that, really, as we were reeling off of COVID, that's where things really started changing, most specifically. And I'll never forget it. But whenever I saw the LGBTQ community rallying for forced vaccinations, and they were fighting for mandatory vaccines, and I just sat there and I thought, how dare you? Like the group that had to fight for decades for bodily autonomy, government, keep your hands off my body, government, don't tell me what to do, government, you don't control me. And now you're saying here, no, government, you control me and you should control everyone. And it was a light bulb moment for me. And that was the moment where I completely split off.
Well, I also think, the mutilation of young children was very effective in pushing you away.
Well, sure. Yeah. And like I said, it was really when I became a mom.
Yeah.
Whenever I became a mom, that's where things really started to change for me because I was no longer living for myself. I was living for my son. And everything I was doing was centered around how do I create a good life for my son? How do I protect him? How do I raise him well? How do I get him in a good school? Things of that nature. How do I provide? And as it turns out, having that drive to provide and take care and nurture and care for someone other than yourself, it shifts you away from liberalism pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And especially whenever the LGBTQ community started going completely sideways after the forced vaccinations, we started getting into pronouns, drag queen story hour, these hormone blockers, these cross-sex hormones, 15-year-old girls getting their breasts chopped off.
Yeah.
It was an absolute snapping point for me. And that's when I really started speaking on social media because I couldn't stand by and watch the community do that any longer.
I wonder how many people are starting to realize are going to start to take into consideration that they were propagated through their own tax dollars to believe these things were culturally acceptable and understand where this actually comes from. Communist, Bolshevik fucking ideas that they use to brainwash society so that they can literally be killed eventually, right? How many people are going to come together to understand this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a shock on the ego. It's a shock on the identity. It's a very difficult conversation to have with yourself. So most people,
I think a lot of people too are having this situation with, I think there's a lot of brainwashed people, legitimately, that cannot think for themselves on both sides of the spectrum. I think independent critical thinking is where you want to be. You want to get to a point where you can say, well, yeah, I agree with that. That's good. But also, I don't agree with this over here. We shouldn't have to be, and I don't think it's healthy to be, to identify politically with one party or another. I think we have to identify with ourselves and what is right and what is wrong, what we think is right or wrong. And that's where we need to get people back to, right? It's not a fucking cult of either side. It's a independent thought process, and I'm going to put my vote and stand behind the things I think that are best, and we just lack that in this country right now.
Case by case basis,
well,
too.
Because, dude, and I don't think people should feel ashamed that they were taken advantage of. That happens all the time. It should be seen as a lesson. When you get trillions of dollars of propaganda pumped into your brain 24/7, I mean, that's not their fault that they fell for it.
Yeah, but it should ignite a fucking fire in you to want to do something about it. Whether that means use your platform that you have, create a platform, whatever that means. I mean, it should ignite some type of I'm not this fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it's
insulting.
It should piss people off.
Most people are much too prideful to admit that they were duped.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is, you know? And it's hard. You know, it took a lot. You know, I started my Instagram thing, and it took me a long time before I could even admit that I had voted for Biden or I'd ever been a liberal in the first place, because I was so embarrassed, you know, about, you know, that mindset that I had had for so long. And it comes down to ego and pride. Can you have that conversation with yourself, or can you not? And a lot of people would rather be wrong and maintain this sense of false pride than ever have a real conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's crazy shit, man.
Until we get to a point where that's it's so undeniable that people have been manipulated. I mean, like, it has to be, it's going to have to be like ridiculously undeniable for people to see it. But I think once we get to that point, maybe people will start calling for accountability.
Yeah. Hey guys, jump in on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, we got a final segment of the show. As always, we got thumbs up or dumb as fuck. Now, this is a little different one for you. All right. In the nature of having a wonderful guest on, I say we do like a little healthy debate here. And it involves one of your favorite things, Andy. French fries. We are going to be ranking fries, fast food fries. We're going to rank them.
Okay.
All right. So we got a couple of different options here. So here you go.
Would you make a program here, or what's this?
My dad gave it to me. It's a tier maker. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And so we just rank these fries. So I mean, first up, you got S is like the best. Superior. Okay. Then there's A, B, C, and D.
What's A?
It's like great.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But S is
superior. Yeah, far superior. And I think you can put multiple in like the categories. So we got Arby's here first. You got Hardee's, Burger King, Five Guys. I'm not sure what that is. I think just basic fries, maybe. Chick-fil-A. What's that one? Smash Burgers. Raising Cane's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, Curly, Jack in the Box straight, and you got McDonald's. What we got?
Well, who's going first?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. I would say Chick-fil-A is a superior fry, in my personal opinion.
You probably eat more French fries than most of us.
Yeah, you're definitely the expert.
All right.
Actually, I would be the expert, bro.
This didn't really work out.
Because I have
How we
twice
thought it
as
was
much
going to
life.
work out, Madat.
I've eaten the most French fries here.
Okay.
Out of anybody. Yeah, for sure. Because there's no way that you could have eaten the amount of fries that I've eaten in 45
You've been on this earth a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I would say I've eaten the most fries.
Okay. All right, you hear that?
Regardless of our physique differences.
Yeah. They won't be so different in a minute. I think Chick-fil-A has superior fries, though. Are
you sure that you're confident in that?
I'm pretty confident in Chick-fil-A fries, bro. The waffle fries.
Wait, are we ranking them individually or as a team here?
I mean, everything's up for debate.
Okay, I would say that this is good judgment. I would say that Chick-fil-A makes some awesome fries.
All right.
I'm shocked that you don't have Culver's up there.
Culver's does make some good fries.
Culver's smash, yeah.
Culver's got some good fries. Where does Arby's go? We'll just go down the list this way. Where does Arby's go in the ranking?
Here's what it is. Fucking Jack in the Box curly fries, Arby's curly fries are right there up there in the A category.
Okay.
This is how we're going to do this.
Okay. Arby's curly.
They're all the way to the left there.
Which one?
All the way to the left.
Hardee's?
The left.
Oh.
Fucking left. All the way to the left. Okay?
It's hard to see. I'm working on a different screen here.
Okay.
They don't know how to use the internet.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know.
No.
That's all we need.
Okay, well, we got to pick who has the worst fries. I will go ahead and say that I think Raising Cane's is like a D.
Come on, man.
Which one's In and Out? I don't think they're up here. Oh, is this In and Out? Oh, yeah, it is because the little fucking thing there, yeah. I've had their fries. This shit's trash. Yeah, for sure. McDonald's, I mean, that's a solid like B.
Look, McDonald's is, people are going to say it's an A.
Yeah, it's a B. Let's be real.
People are going to get pissed. They'll be like, McDonald's fries, McDonald's fries, McDonald's fries. That's because you're a peasant.
It's like a B.
You don't know what's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's unfortunate.
That's true.
Yes, but
I give it a B. If they bring back the beef tallow, it'd be like a superior fry potentially.
Wendy's is superior to McDonald's for regular fresh fries.
I think that's a A.
No. McDonald's got to go down to C.
Okay.
Because Wendy's are a step behind the curly fries. So we
Okay.
got to put those guys in the B.
All right.
5
Guys is pretty good.
I never had 5 Guys.
Five Guys is pretty good.
It's overrated.
Okay, you guys have to decide X. I've never had it.
C?
I'll go C.
Okay. 5 Guys at C?
They're so greasy.
I mean, but that's the good part. They give you
I've
so
never
much
had
shit.
Smash either. So
I've never had Smash Burgers.
So we got to give them a C just out of courtesy because we never had them.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I've
right.
never had Raising Cane's, but I know lots of people that love Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I bet they're all white.
No, the fucking shit's good. Dylan gave me some.
Bro, Raising Cane's is disgusting.
Okay, well,
You're gonna poll me on chicken, Andy? Is that
yeah,
what we're doing?
motherfucker, I am. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they
ain't got the 11 herbs and spices, man.
You represent 6% of the population. That's it. So you're saying on the fries that doesn't count.
Okay.
You can't say that you can't. It goes
Their fries
by
are nasty.
Huh?
Their fries are nasty,
Whose?
bro. Raising Cane's.
No. I refuse to believe that because I had their chicken and it was fucking great.
I bet.
It was
Wasn't
great.
too spicy at all, huh?
I thought it was great. I like all chicken, bro. Don't even act like you don't like all chicken.
I don't like Raising Cane's.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't like Raising Cane's. I don't.
What?
They're nasty.
They're nasty.
The fries are?
The chicken.
There's a reason being is that they package everything in styrofoam, so like the
It gets soggy?
Yes.
Okay, well that's a no-go. You can't have soggy fries.
That's why.
All right.
Burger King has good fries. Burger King has good
It's been
fries.
a while since I had Burger King.
I'd say like I give it like a B.
No, it belongs in the C. 'Cause
Okay.
Wendy's are definitely better.
Okay. All right.
I think all the rest belong in the C category. That's like your basic. That's some basic fries that are pretty good. They're not terrible. Wendy's is better than all of those. Curly fries are better than straight fries, and waffle fries are better than fucking curly fries.
We're really just ranking the shape
Yes.
of the French fry
It's
here is
more
what we're
shape?
doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it matters.
It does matter.
Waffle fries are the undisputed best French fry.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Then curly fries, I believe, are the second best.
Yeah.
I've not had too many curly fries. I was like, man, those suck.
Bro, Rally's has some good curly
That's what
fries.
I'm saying, dude. And then
Rally's has
Wendy's
good
out of the
curly
fast food, I think Wendy's has the best, like,
regular fries.
fries. Yeah. Best regular fries.
Bro, you know who has some
Then-
good fries too?
Then we got the peasant fries across the board that everybody's going to say, those belong at the top.
See, I know he's Illuminati. He
Yeah.
said these are C's.
Nah, bro.
I think this is a fair standing. It's fair ranking.
I can't comment on Raising Cane's or the one. What's the other one?
That's
'Cause
In and Out.
I never had it.
In and Out. Yeah, trash.
Is it?
Trash.
I never had it.
They should close their business, go bankrupt.
Why does everybody always post it like it's a big deal?
What, Raising Cane's and In and Out?
No, In and Out. Like, is it In and Out the place where like everybody posts the top and you can see all the food?
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal with In and Out? I've never had it.
That's how I feel about like Whataburger. People go crazy over it.
Really?
And it's mediocre at best.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I think Culver's is pretty fucking good.
Culver's has a good burger.
They got good burger and fries. Lion's Choice is just, I think, Midwest, St. Louis.
That's
but Lion's
mediocre.
Choice is superior to any of this. Absolutely. Not. Yes, they are in the S category.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
I think that's
Lion's Choice. They're real potatoes, bro. They make them right there.
Bro, so does Five Guys. But
I told you I never had them.
Yeah, I got you. Penn Station has good fries too. That should have made the list. Penn Station? No?
I've never been there.
You've never had Penn Station? Well, guys, that's the list.
Motherfucker, eating at Penn Station and seeing Days of Thunder is not the same thing.
I feel like it's about the same.
No, it
I feel like they're equivalent.
That is untrue.
It's kind of equivalent.
No.
Equivalent.
No.
Same.
No.
Chat. Chat.
I'm not
Chat.
asking them shit. they think I don't know the boys in the hood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I bet the Texas Voyager likes Raising Cane's. Guarantee it. All right, well, that's a pretty good list. I think that's decent.
Bro,
That's decent.
I think Chick-fil-A is so much better than, I think it's like 2 notches better than everybody else.
For fries, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Popeyes is number 1 on chicken. Yeah, Popeyes.
Popeyes is good.
Popeyes is good.
But I think Raising Cane's is good. I think Chick-fil-A is good. I've never had a chicken I didn't like. Yeah. Have you? Where have you had a fried chicken strip or a chicken sandwich that was bad?
Raising Cane's.
No, that's not true.
Raising Cane's. No. Zaxby's is good.
Raising Cane's has to be good because there's so many of them.
Well, I mean,
if they were that bad.
Well, I mean, you guys have to like keep your.
So you're saying that's because of the population?
Because of white people, yeah. It's just
so you're saying
by default.
There's far less Popeyes because of the 6% that you represent.
Yep.
And there's far more Raising Cane's because it's white people chicken.
Correct.
And there's more white people than there is black people.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about.
Yep. It's statistics. Okay. Yeah. I
think about that murder rate.
God damn it. There's, you guys don't do everything better than us. That's all I got, man. Guys, Eddie, Becky, that's all I got, man.
Becky, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're all real proud of everything that you do. It's fucking awesome. Congrats on getting shared by Elon.
Thank you.
Your voice needs to be out there. If you guys aren't following Becky, where can they follow you?
Yeah, guys, you can find me on Instagram, Becky_Weiss_. You can, if you don't know how to spell my last name, I'm sure it's in the episode title here. You can also find me on X with the exact same handle, Becky_Weiss_. My X is pretty small. Instagram is my main thing, so follow me on there. I post some good shit.
Yeah, she does post some fucking awesome shit. It's hilarious. Also, as always, I just want you to know from me, I really appreciate you using your voice as I've seen you do it more and more and more over the years. It's really been awesome to watch.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's really cool. So, all right, guys, I guess that's the show. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.